Tuesday here on NBA TV, you'll see the Trailblazers and the Oklahoma City Thunder at 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It's a players-only edition. Coverage starts at 7:30 Eastern Time. Will you two be here?
We will be here.
Yeah,
we'll be doing that game.
I figured as much. That's why I asked.
Players only, baby.
That's 3D's line. I think it's copyrighted, probably, right?
It should be.
Yeah. Russell Westbrook and the OKC Thunder in New York on the holiday. And the Thunder won this game in the first quarter. Spoiler alert, they won the game.
Yeah, they won in the first quarter. Like you said, they came out, and boy, the Knicks defense was very porous to start this off. And then OKC built up a big lead, and then never really got threatened after that. Like there's no way Nerlens Noel go from the three-point line.
No, that's easy.
In dunk, someone's got to foul him.
Paul George had 13 in the first quarter. The Knicks as a team had 16 in the first quarter, if that tells you anything. And then the Thunder close out the half. Westbrook, then PG. Westbrook 17 points, 10 boards, 9 assists on the game. Third quarter, kind of more of the same.
Yeah, the Knicks' inability to control the ball handler. Every time down court, the ball handler was able to penetrate, get into the middle or the teeth of their defense, was able to dish, make plays, and consequently, OKC had a good night in the Garden.
We didn't find a single Knicks highlight to put in there.
Well, they were in the highlights. They were all on the defensive
positive
side,
highlight. They've lost 6 in a row, 9 straight now as OKC gets the win, 127-109. Russ, an assist shy of a triple-double. Talked about the difference today with Rebecca Harlow. OKC now 10 games over 500 on the season. If the Thunder are going to make some noise come playoff time, what's going to be the key to making that happen?
They have to keep defending the way they are. And I think they got to get a little bit smarter on offense. We talked about, do they need to add another shooter at the trade deadline? I don't know if they'll be able to go out and acquire one, but if they can't go out and acquire one, then offensively they got to become much more efficient. They got to have better shot selection, and they got to keep defending the way they're defending.
You know, what I like about them is tonight Russell Westbrook took 12 shots. It controlled the game. He had 10 rebounds, 9 assists. When you can go out there and control the game with 12 shots, that's the way I like to see him play. I don't like the Russ 8 for 32 nights where he just keeps shooting and that. Yeah, I just don't like that. I like when he's like his shot's been kind of funky this year, so he's not pushing it as much. He's not pushing that shot threshold up into the high teens, mid-20s all the time. He's deferring more, and I think this gives him a better chance. When you're that efficient, think about it, Zeke. He takes 12 shots, it has 10 rebounds and 9 assists. That's controlling the whole flow of the game, plus defending.
Yes.
And all the deflections and steals and stuff. So I like this new version of what I'm seeing in Oklahoma City. Interesting to me when the playoffs start. Does the old Russ come back in, bright lights, like, hey, I got to take over? Right. Or does he just kind of say, okay, Schroeder's been making shots. Paul George is our go-to guy. Get Adams some stuff. And I'm just going to play basketball. It seemed to me he was pressing the scoring margins, trying to maybe lead the league in scoring and stuff. Now he's just looking to get wins. And I like the let's just go win Russell Westbrook.
It's interesting. He's averaging about 10 fewer points than the last of his 2 scoring titles a couple of seasons ago. He's also one of the worst three-point shooters among guys who routinely take threes in the entire league right now. But he's able to do all those other things in part because Paul George has been their leading scorer this year and kind of their go-to guy down the stretch.
Well, the one thing that point guards learn in this league, if you want to win championships, right, you can't win championships by maxing out in these categories, right? The way you're going to win championships is to get everybody involved and play as a team. And your point production will go down, but your assist numbers will go up. Your teammates will be happier, right? And you become a better defender. That's how point guards win in this league. Big guys, on the other hand, they win by a different formula. And I think what Russ has figured out right now is how to win as a point guard in this league. We always measured ourselves, the great point guards, you always measure yourself by how many shots did I have to take to control the game? Magic Johnson was brilliant at it because he could take 8 shots and control a game. You know, but if as a point guard, that number was anywhere from 13 to 15 shots a night. And if you took 13 to 15 shots
when Michael Jordan was really scoring, I said, you know, Larry and Magic could control the game taking 12 shots. If you got Michael to take 12 shots, you controlled him.
Yeah.
Because, you know, and I said it was completely different how they play. And I agree with you. I think as Russell Westbrook's shots come down, his team's field goal percentage can go up, because rather than forcing 4 or 5 of those shots, all of a sudden now he's driving in there, where before he'd be taking some, you know, running 9-footers and stuff like that. He kicks it out, and those guys are not
crazy shots.
Crazy shots. Crazy shots. Why didn't I think of that? That's what I said. He was taking crazy shots. Now he's making passes, and guys are taking, you know, nice, got my feet set, knocking down jumpers for him.
OKC gets the win today in New York. Meanwhile, across the river in Brooklyn, it's the Nets 123-94 over the Sacramento Kings. 31 for D'Angelo Russell, back-to-back 30-point games for him. Joe Harris had 19, 3 of 4 from three-point range for the third leading three-point shooter in the NBA by percentage. And Joe Harris is with us here on Game Time after I'm told some wrangling with the headset. Is that the case, Joe?
Oh, yeah, we got it working now, though. We're all good.
Okay, good.
Joe, you got to shave that beard. That beard's probably getting in the way. All that gruff, it's hard to work around.
I got to trim it up a little bit.
Okay. You know what? All right, I like it.
You know what? I'm a beard advocate now, so I'm all over the beard. Looks good on you.
Hey, yours is clean, though. I got to clean mine up a little bit.
Question for you, because you've been there, what is your third season now in Brooklyn. At what point, maybe this season or even over the longer haul that you've been there, did your outlook on this team go from, hey, we're a bunch of guys who are kind of getting second chances in many cases, trying to find our spot in the league, to, hey, we can make the playoffs and we're a good team?
Yeah, I think you look at us at the beginning of the season, you know, obviously a lot of guys making steps in just individual development. We had some good veteran pieces. And then we just talk about, you know, being a part of the process, you know, trying to get better day in and day out. And we're all, you know, believers in what Kenny, Sean, everybody's trying to preach here in Brooklyn. And there's just, you know, a total buy-in. And obviously, you know, we've had guys that have really stepped up big and improved a lot. You know, D'Angelo's been playing great for us all year. You know, Spencer, I mean, you could go down the list. Everybody, it's a collective effort every night. You know, we don't have necessarily that superstar talent, but we play really well together on both ends of the ball.
Joe, when you talk about, you know, Kenny and Mark and that buy-in that you have there, you know, what did you guys do collectively to help D'Angelo when he came from the Lakers to Brooklyn, to get his confidence back, to get him playing at this level? What did all of you do as teammates to help him get to this level, and why did you believe in him?
I think, I mean, first off, you know, he comes to us, and we all know that he's an unbelievable talent and capable of, you know, playing the way that he has and shown this year. But I think for him, you know, just individually, being around, you know, Kenny, veteran players, guys that believe in him, you know, are helping him show the ropes, kind of learn to be a pro. The day in and day out, you know, we talk about being deliberate in your practice and consistent in your habits, and you know, he's bought in just like everybody else around here. And you know, you can see the improvement. You can see him, you know, just getting more and more confidence. And you know, here's the byproduct of it now.
Joe, you're looking so comfortable at that three-point line. You're shooting almost 48% now after 3 for 4 today. Just talk to me about the league right now and the amount of threes that are being shot and how it just kind of fits you and your team in Brooklyn.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I come into the league at a pretty good time for shooters. You know, I'm fortunate to be in the NBA when there is a precedent put on, you know, shooting threes. And, you know, you look at our team here in Brooklyn, and, you know, we value the three-point line a lot. You know, the other night, I think we set an NBA record. We played against Houston, just combined threes in the game. And you know, not to say that we live and die by it. Obviously, we're kind of taking the game as it comes. But, you know, when it boils down to it, you know, Kenny, the staff, they really believe in guys taking open threes, making the right play. And, you know, obviously, I'm a byproduct of that system, and I'm lucky to play in a system that puts a precedent on shooting threes.
Hey, Joe, how upset does the coaching staff get when you take that three and you're about a foot in front of the three-point line? What does your coach think about that shot?
You know, I'm not even testing the waters there. I know my boundaries. You know, I'm strictly shooting threes, and then I'm opportunistic with my drives. If I can get something going to the rim, great. But I'm not messing around anywhere else.
Atta baby, good job, man. Way to know your game, bud.
Fourth straight win for the team that, for my money, plays the most entertaining games in the league. You guys have been so much fun to watch. Congratulations. Keep the beard. Keep the strokes and keep it moving forward in Brooklyn.
Keep playing hard.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Joe Harris with us here on Game Time. Much more to get to on the other side. Check in on more highlights from around the league, including the Pistons and the Wiz. Here in the league, James Harden.
No human as hot as James Harden.
It is all hard.
It's one of the greatest individual offensive runs we've ever seen.
The Beard also extended his streak to 18 in a row, scoring at least 30.
The step back three is an iconic shot, just like the Skyhook, just like the dream shape. James Harden's step back three is unstoppable.
He's perfected the step back where it's unguardable.
Just continue to go. Keep giving the opposing team hell.
Murray and Harden. He fell down. Man down. Man down.
You know, James Harden puts you in the most compromising position possible on every possession. The way he plays, the way he attacks.
Like a running back, using the power to create space with his elbow on his shoulder. All of a sudden, he knocked this guy back like they're in a boxing ring. Bang, bang, bang.
Down to three, down to two, it's a three. Good! Good! He got it! He hit the three!
He's got a mastery of the game. Again, I haven't seen his whole life, but last 3 years, I don't know how you get any better than what he's playing.
Yeah, he's just extremely unique if you factor in just the overall offensive package. You know, if you look at the volume of the shots that he takes for a team at an efficient level, I think that's the key. Then you add in the fact that his passing is at a level that's in the top 10 to 20 in NBA history. James has been leading the top offense since he's been in the league.
Oh, man, he's special, man. And he has a counter for everything the defense gives. If you force him right, he has counters going left. If you force him left, he has counters going right. There's really nothing you can do with him. You just have to hope he misses.
We got 40 games left to go. Like, it's outside of anything that we've ever seen.
So those shots you see him make at the end of games, he practices that stuff every single day. And to see him actually do it in games is pretty incredible.
Look, his whole team is hurt right now. At this point, I don't think there's any doubt about it. We still have half the season to go. Right now, James Harden is the NBA's MVP.
Step back. Oh! 57 points.
17 straight games with 30-plus points. That joins the most underrated player in NBA history, Elgin Baylor, and Wilt Chamberlain, the most statistically significant player in NBA history. Wow. Those are the only people to ever do that.
Guys, James Harden is on track to become the 6th player ever to average 35 points a game over the course of a season. He's got a ways to go, but this is a pretty good list. This would be the first since Kobe's 2005-2006 season. It has been a little while. It's not an easy thing to do. I want to look at this from the opposing team's point of view. You got the Rockets on the schedules you got James Harden coming to your arena, or you're going to theirs. What is your best chance of limiting his effectiveness, containing him a little bit, and coming out with a win?
10-day contract. Shane Battier, Bruce Bowen, and Michael Cooper. See if I can get them on. Okay,
they're all available.
Just
and they're available right now for minimum, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Minimum right now. I think you have to, first of all, you have to have the ability to change during the course of the game. I'm not sure you can give him 48 minutes of seeing the same exact defense. He's too smart. He figures it out. So maybe perhaps keep him off balance. And then you have to decide, do you want to stay one man on him? Do you want to take the ball out of his hands, try and double team him and make them have to pass the ball and other people make shots? Or the reverse of that is make him have to make every shot and don't let anybody else make shots.
Yeah, that's interesting, Coach. When we were in Phoenix during our 7 seconds or less run, Raja Bell was far and away our best wing defender, and he drew the short straw. He had to be the Kobe Bryant assignment. And we were driving ourselves crazy trying to figure out a way to slow Kobe down. And what we ended up doing was Raja would try to rile Kobe into making it a one-on-one, mano-a-mano matchup. Mm-hmm. And actually, when he clotheslined him that game, as you remember, it happened within the context of a playoff series where we were just trying to make Kobe want to take every shot and then limit the effectiveness of his supporting cast. the other component of that is when he does happen to give the ball up, you have to the best of your ability, in the case of James Harden, deny him the ball back. And that's easier to do when Chris Paul's not playing.
Right.
What I think is fascinating, though, during this run, because it's the regular season, you're not seeing any of the teams employ any of the tactics they might use in a playoff series.
Yeah, and you can bet all the staffs who could potentially face the Rockets in the postseason are cooking up all kinds of schemes that they're not going to reveal until a potential playoff series. So Houston will play Philadelphia on MLK Day, and you'll see Golden State in LA against the Lakers. And we hope to see more of Boogie Cousins, who had 14 points, 6 boards, 3 assists, and was plus 21 in just 15 minutes in his Warriors debut after nearly a year away following that Achilles injury. That happened on Friday against the Clippers. What'd you see?
Well, what I'm going to be watching for as he first starts to come back, and they brought him back as a starter in large part because the return to play protocol for someone with an injury of this type is going to be, once he gets loose, let him stay loose. Play him in bursts, and they did that. Now, they had to. He picked up 2 very quick fouls, so he played only 3 minutes. But I'm paying attention to what he looks like physically. And in this video breakdown that we've done, you're going to see some things from him mechanically that stood out to me initially. Here he's going to run a little pick and roll. He's going to slip here, dive to the rim. This is a 2-foot gather. Notice he puts very little pressure on the left, comes together with both feet and elevates. The reason this is important is DeMarcus Cousins is natively a 1-foot strider, and he wants to go off of the left foot. Here he went off the right foot. He tore the Achilles in his left. So what he really wants to do is stride into a 1-foot liftoff. You're going to see him do that here. KD makes a great pass. He had opened it up and beat everyone down floor, so he looks great running. Here it is, planting the surgically corrected leg. This is something that you're going to want to pay a lot of attention to, because on a man that big who's a 1-foot strider, it's a big part of the reason he's never been overly efficient as a paint finisher. So it'll be interesting to see what happens coming back from this.
You're nervous when you come back from a surgery, whether it's a knee, something like that, an Achilles, but it can be done. But a guy this large, this big, going in, he had to have some concerns that I'm finally back. Now can I do what I used to do? So little by little, hopefully he'll get a little more lift. He never had a lot of lift,
right.
But maybe he'll get a little more lift. It's the strength we're talking about, and it's the confidence that he can do it.
Fortunately, his game was never really predicated on explosion per se. He's got so much skill. By the way, LeBron James on track to practice on Sunday. We don't expect to see him in a Laker uniform when they meet the Warriors on Monday. Lots more coming up here on Game Time, presented by State Farm. Homecoming night for Dwayne Wade, his final game in Chicago as the Heat hit town. And Kemba Walker hitting everybody all season long, including the Suns on Saturday night. You'll see that and much more next.